First things first, we need to talk about how Kendrick Lamar just served Drake the most elegant, calculated, and absolutely devastating clap back in recent music history. When I tell you Kendrick didn't just win at the Grammys, he dominated. We're talking about 5 Grammy Awards, all for Not Like Us, which everybody and their mama knows was a direct shot at Drake. The level of excellence and shade is just perfection. But wait, because that's just the appetizer in this full-course meal of drama. Kendrick, proving he's playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers, took this victory lap to a whole new level by performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. Now that alone would have been enough to send Drake into a spiral. But Kendrick? Oh honey, Kendrick had an ace up his sleeve that nobody saw coming. He brought out Serena Williams. Yes, you heard that right. Drake's ex. The absolute audacity and brilliance of this move had the entire internet in shambles. The look on everyone's faces when Serena stepped out on that stage? Priceless. It was the kind of moment that will go down in hip-hop history as one of the most calculated and effective takedowns we've ever witnessed. Drake, as you can imagine, was not handling this well. In fact, he completely lost it and declared the beef wide open again. Like, sweetie, are you sure that's the hill you want to die on? Because Kendrick is clearly not playing any games. Now, I know what you're all wondering. How in the world did Kendrick manage to convince Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time, to participate in this level of shade throwing? Well, sit tight because this is where the tea gets even hotter. From what I'm hearing, convincing Serena wasn't hard at all because, and this is the gag, she absolutely cannot stand Drake. And when I tell you there's history there, child, let me explain.
And if I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey! He will make your hometown not like you. The next time Drake sits courtside at a Raptors game, they're gonna Forrest Gump him. Sight's taken.
Remember last year when Serena did that iconic walk during her presentation? The one that had absolutely nothing to do with either Kendrick or Drake? But somehow she managed to work it in there anyway? That wasn't just a coincidence, honey. That was a woman who had some things she needed to get off her chest. But to really understand why Serena harbors such strong feelings toward Drake, we need to take a little trip down memory lane. These two used to be an item back in the day, and when things ended, Drake showed his whole behind. Instead of taking the L like a grown man and moving on with dignity, he made it his personal mission to try and humiliate Serena at every opportunity. And let me tell you something, this kind of behavior, it's becoming Drake's signature move and not in a good way. Speaking of Drake's pattern with women who've turned him down, we absolutely need to talk about how he treated Rihanna. Years, and I mean years, after their breakup, this man was still out here throwing shade at both Riri and A$AP Rocky. The pettiness knows no bounds. Like, sir, Rihanna hasn't even thought about you since y'all split. She's out here living her best life, building an empire, and raising her beautiful family. But Drake? He just can't seem to let it go. But if you think that's messy, hold on to your wigs because we haven't even gotten to the Halle Berry situation. This story is so cringeworthy, it'll make your toes curl. For years, Drake was practically begging for Halle's attention, making these over-the-top declarations in interviews and all over social media. Meanwhile, Halle Berry was giving him nothing but radio silence. But did that stop our boy Drake? Absolutely not. He just kept pushing and pushing, making increasingly inappropriate comments that had everybody feeling uncomfortable.
Seem to have a fixation with Halle Berry, but she's already
I do.
Regos and
Yeah. That was unfortunate, but
would you really have, like, let's say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Would you seriously consider
like being with her?
Yeah.
100%.
And just when you think it couldn't get any more embarrassing, Drake took it to another level entirely. He started name-dropping Halle in his songs, and let me tell you, it wasn't cute or flattering, it was straight up creepy. In his verse on the Migos' Versace remix, he had the audacity to rap, "Take a famous girl out where there's no paparazzi. I'm trying to give Halle Berry a baby and no one can stop me." I mean, excuse me? Who approved these lyrics? Because that's not flirting or paying homage, that's harassment territory. The saga with Halle Berry didn't stop there though. For his track Slime You Out featuring SEA on his album For All the Dogs, Drake really thought it would be a good idea to use a picture of Halle getting slimed at the 2012 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards as the cover art. Now here's where it gets even more problematic.
No one is safe from the slime.
The real kicker? Holly had already explicitly told him no when he asked to use her picture. But apparently, in Drake's world, a woman's no is more of a suggestion than a final answer. And if this behavior sounds familiar, it's because he pulled the exact same stunt with Serena Williams. It's like he has this compulsive need to try and maintain some kind of control over women who've rejected him, even when they've clearly moved on with their lives. Speaking of moving on, Serena is out here living her best life. She's happily married with 2 beautiful children, but Drake just can't seem to handle that reality. And this brings us to one of the most chaotic moves in recent hip-hop history: Drake's mysterious 100-gigabyte data dump on 100gigs.org last year. Now, let me paint this picture for you. Instead of using his official channels like a normal person, Drake announces this massive content drop through his not-so-secret burner Instagram account, Plot Twist, which, by the way, he'd been quietly updating since June. This wasn't just any ordinary data dump. We're talking unreleased tracks featuring Young Thug, 21 Savage, and Lotto, behind-the-scenes footage of Drake working on some of his biggest albums like Take Care, Views, and Certified Lover Boy, plus intimate moments with industry heavyweights like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Rihanna, and Cameron. The word on the street was that this whole elaborate scheme was meant to distract from his increasingly messy beef with Kendrick Lamar. But if that was the plan, Chile, it backfired spectacularly. Not only did the Kendrick drama continue to escalate, but this little diversionary tactic barely made a dent in the conversation. But here's where things get really juicy. Buried in all that footage was a clip that had everybody's jaws on the floor. Drake, sitting there with his mom, Sandra, casually revealing that his hit song Too Good with Rihanna wasn't actually about Riri at all. It was about Serena. The way he just spilled this tea to his mother like it was nothing had everyone shook.
Up-and-coming relationships, everything's going to be very light, not going to get like heavily into things.
No, I get heavy on a couple joints, but this is more about me and Serena, so I
gathered that.
But I wanted to make a song.
But you don't want it to be
well, it's funny because when I make songs about women, I also make songs for them, so I know what kind of song to make. If I'm gonna talk about them, I'll at least do them the justice of making them a song that they like.
Yeah.
Okay? So I know I know Serena very well, and I know that she'll hear it loud and clear, but she'll also not hate me for it because it's lighthearted. You know?
And she is seeing someone else.
I don't know, Mom.
Now, let me give you the full backstory because this tea needs context. Back in 2010, Drake and Serena had the rumor mill working overtime with speculation about their relationship. But while Drake was out here acting like a lovesick teenager, writing subtle and not so subtle references to Serena in his music, she kept things strictly professional and never publicly acknowledged their relationship. Fast forward to today, and Serena is living her absolute best life, married to Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, with whom she's built this beautiful family, including their 2 adorable daughters. But Drake, being Drake, couldn't just let sleeping dogs lie. After spending years being what GQ magazine iconically dubbed Serena's most embarrassing groupie, and trust me, they weren't wrong, he completely flipped the script when she got with Alexis. In what has to be one of the most ironic moves in hip-hop history, Drake had the audacity to call Alexis a groupie in his track Middle of the Ocean with 21 Savage. The lyrics went, "Sidebar, Serena, your husband a groupie. He claim we don't got a problem, but no boo, it is like you coming for sushi." But Alexis? Oh, he handled that shade with nothing but grace and class. He responded by posting this absolutely adorable photo of himself and his daughter Olympia at one of Serena's tennis matches with the caption, "The reason I stay winning is because I'm relentless about being the absolute best at whatever I do, including being the best groupie for my wife and daughter." Now that is how you handle negativity with class and dignity. When Drake dropped that video of his conversation with his mom about Serena, people quickly connected the dots and realized it was his response to Serena walking to Not Like Us at the ESPYs. He tried to bury this revelation in the mountain of content he released, but honey, nothing gets past these internet detectives. While Serena, being the queen she is, was too classy to respond directly to Drake's constant shade, she got her revenge in the most spectacular way possible at the Super Bowl. And let me tell you something, it was everything. And here's the gag that makes this even more iconic. Serena didn't even get paid for that Super Bowl appearance. That's right, artists don't get compensated for the Super Bowl, which means she did this purely out of spite. The level of commitment to the shade is absolutely unmatched. Drake, clearly feeling some type of way about this whole situation, tried to maintain his tough guy image during his Melbourne performance after the Super Bowl. He changed the lyrics to Knife Talk to say, "Beef is live, spoiler alert, I never die." Listen, Drake is clearly heated about this whole situation, and honestly, can you blame him? Kendrick and Serena didn't just come for him. They orchestrated one of the most sophisticated takedowns in recent memory. The internet is absolutely eating this up too. One fan tweeted, "Kendrick bringing out Serena Williams to walk after Drake stalked that woman publicly for years and obsessively threw shots at her for turning him down is so wow, that man is the definition of chaotic good." Another fan couldn't contain their excitement saying, "Okay, I lied, Serena Williams doing a walk on Drake's tomb was the best thing I've ever seen." And perhaps the most poignant comment came from someone who wrote, "Drake harassed Serena Williams for years. This is her retribution. This is her peace." The reactions just keep pouring in, with social media absolutely ablaze with hot takes, memes, and analysis of every single aspect of this drama. People are dissecting everything from the timing of Kendrick's move to the symbolism of bringing Serena out during the biggest television event of the year. It's the kind of cultural moment that people will be talking about for years to come. But now I want to hear from you. Did Kendrick take things too far by bringing Serena into this beef? Or was this the perfect way to serve Drake a slice of humble pie that's been long overdue? Was Serena justified in participating in this epic takedown, or should she have stayed above the fray? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video, because trust me, this drama is far from over. The tea just keeps getting hotter, and you know I'll be here to spill every single drop.